You're listening to the best of the Ray Powers Hour.
This is the Ray Powers Hour. I am on the line with a friend who's across the pond, so to speak, Liverpool in the UK. I've known this young lady for, it's 4.5, 5 years already. She was literally a child when she started really just gracing the stages back home, made the connection here in the US, New York, Nashville, LA. I'm talking about the one and only Millie Courtney. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy to, be talking to you and things. How are you?
I'm great. I was just telling some of my people here that I've known your name for the better part of 5 years. And of course, that goes back to when you released Storybook as a single, and it caught fire here in America on the indie Nashville charts. Number one, right?
Yeah, that was it. That feels like so long ago now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that.
That was a fun ride. And since then, I know you've come to America, in New York, in fact, and I put it on my calendar to meet up with you, and I know how it is when you're traveling. It's just logistically becomes impossible to do anything inside a week here. I mean, there's so much to do, so many people.
Yeah, but I loved New York. New York was so much fun. I was only there for 3 days though, but I got to sing at the UN.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It was amazing. I couldn't get used to the air. Like, the air was just so different, and I threw up on the street.
That's fantastic.
It's not.
Oh, my God. Well, welcome to New York. You are now an official New Yorker.
Yeah, thank you.
Trust me, you are not the first New Yorker to throw up on the street, and you will be far from the last one.
Well, that's good then.
So the air quality, I guess, is just completely different. I mean, it's got to be...
yeah, there's so much, gas fumes and things, and right. I think it's because in England, there's so many trees and stuff like that, and it was just so different. I could literally smell the petrol. It was just, I don't know. It was just so different, I guess.
Especially if you're right by the UN, because you have... the FDR and First Avenue right there. And I mean, there were just cars zipping by there constantly. So yeah, trucks are there. And yeah, it's just a whole different mindset here. And I mean, Los Angeles would be even worse. You might pass out there.
Yeah. I get travel sick, really bad. And when we're on the freeway in Los Angeles, right. When you put the window down to stop the travel sickness, it just makes things worse because there's just so much fumes and stuff. Oh, it's crazy.
Well, we'll have to make sure that we get you a breather like the people do when they come over from China. You see them with the big white masks on.
Yeah, that would be good.
Until you can acclimate. If you're here for a month, I guess you'll become one of us, and then it'll just be like second nature, just like breathing, literally.
Yeah, it's just my lungs will become accustomed.
So yeah, since 2014, you've done quite a lot. You've come a long way. Obviously, your voice has matured immensely. I bought your copy of Eleanor Rigby when that came out a couple of years ago. What else has been going on since then?
Well, loads of stuff, really. I've been going back from LA, back and forth, and doing recording and things like that, taking, meetings with, labels and stuff, and, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Really, really enjoying it. Yeah.
Are you tired of answering the same questions about Liverpool?
No, I just get better at answering them. I know what to say.
I mean, every single Yankee come across has got to have the same exact line.
Yeah, it's usually oh, you're from Liverpool, home of the Beatles.
Right.
And it's yeah.
Have you played the Cavern Club, which I know you have?
Yeah, I have.
I did
so,
see that.
It all adds to, the cliche, I suppose.
Well, I played CBGB in New York City, so, I'm an embodiment of the same cliche. You have to do it, right?
Oh, so you're a cliche too.
Absolutely. A walking cliche.
Yeah.
But I wear two hats. I do the radio side and I do the performance side as well. So, I get the best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah, of course. I think it'd be fun to be a radio presenter. I'd like to not force people, but make people listen to the songs that I like.
Yeah, you definitely can position and juxtapose and give a nudge to the artists that you favor, especially today with an indie world. It's the Wild West. I mean, you can really, well, we're the only ones who are going to break a new artist. I mean, commercial radio here in America is so narrow. I'm not sure how it's like over there. It's got to be a little more freeform, but here it's like the indies is your only shot now for like 99%.
Yeah, the music is so, I don't want to say bad, but I mean, the top 40, it's not that great, to be honest. It's
one homogenized style, and if you don't fall into that, and if you're not in that chosen 1%, then you're just not going to get that big enough push you need to win Grammys, to get on the big stages, to make a decent living at this. I mean, you're going to really, really have to push on your own.
Yeah, you're right. I think as well, because most of the music is it's so it's lacks creativity and artistic value. I don't know, it is quite sad, to be fair, but...
Well, we don't want to depress people because you've got a fantastic voice and you're putting out great new music. You're working on a new EP, am I correct?
Yeah. I'm working on that right now, and that's a lot of fun. It's going to be new sounds and new songs and stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Awesome. And when can we expect that? Sometime in 2019?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. Any titles, any teasers, anything you can tell us about it?
I'm not sure about the title, but I want to design the cover myself, draw something interesting.
Well, that'd be cool.
I'm gonna work on that.
The great thing about the artwork is, we've made a considerable return to vinyl, 12 by 12, and artwork is a thing again. Where for years everything was digital. We're getting away from CDs even, so everything is on a 2x2 tile that fits on your iPod or your playlist or your digital site for iTunes. So the return to vinyl, I think, is going to be great for a lot of people. The artwork factors in the visual along with the audio and a concept. I mean, you can really have some continuity.
Yeah, I agree. I think vinyl should definitely come back. I think there's something better about buying, having something to show for what you're buying and things. And as well, it's cool, because it's vintage.
And while you're playing the record, it's something to look at. You can read the liner notes. You'll always see something new. You could pick up the same piece of music 10 times. You could pick up the album sleeve. And, I didn't realize this here. Or she painted a little something in the corner here. It's always something different.
Yeah. I think it's great.
I remember back when, like your dad, I remember when albums were the main thing, and that was basically a primary purchase. Then it went to cassettes, then it went to CD, then digital, and now the full circle is kind of surreal, but it's cool.
Yeah. I'm really sad that I missed, I wish I was born in the 60s.
Well, aside from the fact that you'd now be in your 60s, that's, hey, here we are now, right? And it's made a comeback. In a lot of ways, the industry is healthier now because at least now you can get your product out there.
Yeah, the power of social media and stuff is just incredible.
Exactly. If you're willing to hustle, you really can go a long way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
It may take you longer. It's going to be a lot more organic. But honestly, these days, and people have actually confirmed this, if you sell 25,000 copies of your CD on your own, you're going to make a lot more money for yourself than if you had a platinum album selling 1 million for a major record label where you're only getting pennies on the dollar, kind of like the Spotify accounts. If you can go door to door, stage to stage, and sell your product, you're going to do a lot better for yourself.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's an impetus for people to keep playing and keep live music out there. It's still the way to go. That's why people are charging, $200-300 US, which is probably like, more than 100 pounds for a concert at Wembley or something like that, because that's the last place they're making any money.
Yeah, there's more money in touring these days, is it?
That's why everybody's still touring. People squeeze all these acts that, have been dormant for 25, 30 years. Erasure. These old timers, they can't stand to look at each other, but it's like, oh, I guess I can tolerate you for an hour and change on stage. If we're traveling with different buses and this and that. It's really the last vestige as far as, making a decent income.
Wow. I never really, I mean, I knew that there wasn't as much money, there was more money in touring, but yeah. Aw.
Well, the digital exchange rates are not what they should be. I mean, and they're trying to fix that now, but in the meantime, it's good in a way because it really keeps performers out there, and it keeps people coming out to live shows.
And I think music, shouldn't, I think most music should be free anyway, because, it's just better that way.
Well, if you want to release a teaser single, it's good. I mean, U2 put out a whole album for free, and they said, we're going to make it up with our concert tickets. So, I mean, it almost is now, where people, if they want to steal your song, they could take it off of iTunes. They could take it off of YouTube, rather. But your hardcore fans will still want to buy it because they want to reward you with money for your hard work, basically.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But, I mean, the whole fact that you're willing to do it for free because you love it that much says a lot. And it says you're doing it for the right reasons. So, that's admirable.
Thank you.
So, what can I play for these people that's available right now? I can go back to your back catalog. I can do Storybook. I can do the Eleanor Rigby cover. I want you to pick a song that you want to play for everybody out there.
You can play The Way You Look at Her.
I can play that now? That's going to be off your new album.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, a teaser single, The Way You Look at Her. This is not out yet. It's unreleased. This is actually an unofficial fresh cut on the Ray Powers Hour. So see, you people out there are getting a huge preview right now. This won't be out till early 2019, but you're going to get it right now. This is The Way You Look at Her by my online guest, Millie Courtney, on the #1 show for new music all over the world, the Ray Powers Hour. You've got it locked into the #1 show for new music all over the world, the Ray Powers Hour. That was The Way You Look at Her by my guest online, Millie Courtney, calling in from the UK, over in Liverpool. I think there was another famous group or two that came from Liverpool. I'm not quite sure. You might be the first, Millie.
I think it was Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
That's who it was.
That's who it was.
I actually have a couple of friends who are from Liverpool as well, and I've always teased them about that.
Me too. I have friends in Liverpool too.
Go figure. And now you have friends in New York as well. Nashville, the West Coast. What has been your favorite place to play live?
I think the best place was probably the UN. that was really cool.
Yes.
You have to go through passport controls to get in.
Wow. Yeah, that's got to be pretty tight security to get in there.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Well,
but we got in.
Well, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you're not really visually a security threat, so,
Yeah, cool.
So what was that like? How many songs did you get to do? Did you have a full band? Was it just you?
I only got to do one song, but I did have a full band.
Well, that's fantastic. Hey, listen, when you're on Conan, you only get one song. You get one shot, so give it your best.
I did. I did give it my best. I think it sounded good, so I was very happy at the time.
Well, I'm definitely sorry I missed that, but the next time you hear it stateside, especially on the East Coast, I will be there. Yay!
Okay.
What about other places you played? Other countries? What's the furthest you've been from home?
Probably LA, okay. I'd say. Like a 14-hour flight. Yeah, LA. LA's probably the furthest. Well,
we know that New York is your favorite place in the U.S. We're gonna go with that. But what did you think of Los Angeles? Oh, other than the air quality.
It's good. I like it. It's very busy. Yeah, but it's good. I like the atmosphere with everything's really clean. Yeah, it's good.
It's very spread out. New York is very tall on a small island. Everything is built vertical. In Los Angeles, it's more spread out.
Yeah, there's more space. It's really, really hot as well.
Yeah, especially if you come in like the summertime or the early fall. Like we had a World Series game last year in October. It was 100 degrees. It was the first time that ever happened.
Oh my God.
100 Fahrenheit, yeah.
I don't think I could deal with the heat though. Like my skin's so fair, and I don't even tan. Like I just burn.
Especially a lot of places here stateside where the humidity is just very oppressive. It gets real muggy, real moist, and it's very hard to breathe. Like in Florida, it would be extremely difficult, I think, to adjust there. Yeah.
But I would like to go to Florida because I want to see the Harry Potter world.
Oh, there you go. Now, was JK from Liverpool as well?
I don't know. I think she is English.
She is from England, yeah. I just wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
she is, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense why Harry Potter's English.
So what else is going on in the meantime? Any live shows, any showcases coming up? What else is going on between now and the release of your EP?
I think we're just working on recording right now. And I played the cavern and yeah. Until the EP's done, I'm just taking it easy.
Which is good. The holidays are upon us, and you could take a break there, concentrate on getting the album out. I get it. That's a good plan of action. Yeah,
and plus, Christmas. I'm excited for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm all about Christmas. I'm all about a week off. I'm excited for that. It's the only time I really get to do it. And
well, yeah, that's great.
I eat a lot. I get to sleep in a bit, and I try to catch up on some of the busy work. Just at my leisure. And it's very, very rare that it happens. It's really just that 1 week. So I
like to watch Christmas films.
I do. I have my favorites. What's your favorite Christmas film?
I like Deck the Halls. That's a good one.
I like A Christmas Story with what's his I can't think of his actual name. His name is Ralphie in the movie. He's a director now in Hollywood.
I don't know that film.
A Christmas Story, it's an American film. Came out in the 80s. I definitely recommend it.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It's driving me crazy that I can't think of this kid's name. I just saw him. Peter Billingsley, that's his name.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
He's a blonde kid with glasses. It's set back in the 1930s, I think, in Midwestern U.S.
Nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a funny movie. You'd enjoy it.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Awesome. Well, Millie, please come back anytime. In the meantime, I want you to break a leg getting that record done. And as soon as you come back to America, please darken my doorway.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
Anytime. Millie Courtney, everybody, go check out Millie Courtney on Amazon. Go to iTunes, hit her up on Facebook, like her page. Millie, thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Cheers. Have a great Christmas.
The Ray Powers Hour.
This is the Ray Powers Hour, back on the line, and joining me is a dynamic recording artist from across the northern border, Toronto to be exact. She's causing quite a stir in the pop dance genre of the music world. Her new single, Party Heroes, is making its way into the hands of DJs at the dance halls, clubs, and radio. Here to talk about it is my guest, Kristen Karma. Kristen, welcome to the Ray Powers Hour. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always an honor. So you are off and running with Party Heroes.
Yeah, that's my new single. Just a little bit of background on the single. So it's a pop dance tune. I wrote it after I was hosting a party here in Toronto when I first moved here, and had a couple of friends over, and towards the end of it, it was about 11 o'clock, and the party started dying down, and they friend of mine showed up with her entourage and really turned it up and turned up the music, brought more food, brought more people, and it lasted for a few more hours. And I thought, you know what? She saved the party. She's a party hero. I need to write a song about this. And that's how Party Heroes came about.
That's awesome. Yeah, a party that ends at 11 p.m. is tragic, even if you're over 22. So you wrote this as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, I co-wrote it with my producer, Mark Zubek.
Mark Zubek, the producer. Okay, cool. Good to know. I'll have to check him out. And I see that not only is Party Heroes burning up the indie charts, but it peaked at number 17 on the iTunes Canada Top 20 for pop. That's incredible. Congratulations. With I Know More to come. Oh yeah, no,
it's great. Very grateful for the fans to be listening and downloading and purchasing the song. It's great.
Yeah, when the fans are behind you, I mean, there's just no better feeling. Especially on the pre-orders, when you see that there's a lot of interest generated. I mean, that's the best feeling in the world.
Oh, absolutely. Just to know that they've heard a snippet of it and they're loving it. It's great to know that what I've written and what I've put out and all the hard work and sweat and tears and everything that went into this and people are already loving it and they're loving it so much that it's reached number 17. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Now you're currently in Toronto, but you're originally from the West Coast, Vancouver. What facilitated the move east?
So I moved out here a few years ago, and it was basically Vancouver's more of a rock, an alternative rock kind of scene,
right?
With huge influences of Nickelback, Marianas Trench, Faber Drive, that kind of thing. And I sort of wanted to go into more of a pop genre, and Toronto seemed like the next hot spot for pop, urban, that kind of scene. So I decided that instead of after I got a team over in Toronto, instead of flying every month, then I would just make the move and just go at this, as best as I can.
That makes more sense to actually, live on the mountain than expect the mountain to come to Moses. I agree.
Yeah. It was a tough move, leaving everything behind, but it was well worth it. Met a lot of really talented musicians and bands and songwriters out here, and it's influenced more of my sound, and I was able to actually do exactly what I wanted to do with my music in terms of the genre and the direction of the music.
Absolutely. Do you know what's interesting is, speaking of making a move and being out of a market, do you know that one of the chief reasons that Decca Records passed on the Beatles was because they didn't live in London and they thought Liverpool was going to be too far to commute them?
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
This is back in 1961, 62, and I guess, they weren't quite thinking big picture, but they're kicking themselves still to this day, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Although they did sign the Rolling Stones a couple of years later, so I guess they landed on their feet.
Yeah.
So, Nate, you have a very musical background, to say the least. A lot of formal training, including the Royal Conservatory of Music. Now, do your parents come from a musical background, or did they just recognize this immense talent in you immediately?
Neither really. My mother was sort of musical. My father was not. I just, when I was younger, I kind of asked my parents for a piano, and they went out and bought a digital piano, and I started taking off from there. It was kind of love at first sight. I went through, the basic books and that kind of thing, and just progressed so much, took some lessons, started going through the grades at the Royal Conservatory, and from there, my love of music just continued to grow.
Wow. So how many instruments do you play? You play piano?
Ooh, yeah, I play piano. I play drums, guitar. I used to play trumpet, saxophone, a lot of percussion instruments. And then I went into sort of the pipe band world, where bagpipes and drumming, and learned all of the drums and started learning the bagpipes. And I'm very, very musical, and I can tend to pick up things fairly quickly. Wow.
The easier question would have been, what don't you play? That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
You got a future as a producer, for sure.
Yeah, well, I actually went to school for audio engineering and have produced a few demos and such, but that's as far as that went.
Well, it's a starting point.
Yeah.
So you've got a hit record out, and you've certainly built up to that moment. 6 years ago, you're selected as one of only 2 artists to play the Lady Gaga Born This Way after party, and you wind up opening for her DJ, Lady Starlight, in, of all places, your hometown of Vancouver. How did you score that gig?
Oh, that was great. Yeah, I heard she was on tour for the Born This Way ball, and I sort of knew the promoter who was putting on her VIP after party, who had done other after parties for other celebrities, and I reached out and kind of hounded him a little bit and made sure that he had a really good listen to my music and what I could do and how I could enhance the after party. And after a few conversations back and forth, he decided that I would open the night. And yeah, it was a huge, huge success. Lots of people there. Yeah, it was a really great opportunity.
Wow, and the feedback must have been amazing. I mean, it had to get back to Gaga and her camp that, there was some really, really cool vibes coming from the after party.
Oh, I'm sure it did, yeah. Unfortunately, she didn't show up, but yeah, no, it was very well attended. All her, I believe all her backup dancers and crew were there, and yeah, it was just lineups out the door to get in.
Well, now, this was post-concert, right?
Yeah, right after the concert.
In her defense, and you know this as a singer yourself, sometimes the last thing you want to do after putting in a 2-hour show is see anybody, talk to anybody, and I didn't ever respect that fully until I became a singer and cut records of my own. And then it just all changed. I'm like, wow, now I get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that she probably wanted to relax or whatnot, but I did hear later on the reason why she didn't actually attend her after party was because she had like a mobile recording studio and actually went in there to record a few demos right after she played. Yeah, so she's a very hardworking woman, and much respect to that, to play a full-on show and then go and write down a demo for her, possibly next album.
Wow. Here I was not judging her, and then I've got to up the game because now she went right back to work. So, yeah, double the respect. So that pretty much led to you, this after party and the notoriety and all this feedback, that pretty much led to you cutting a new single, Sirens, with Lil Jon. What was that like?
Yeah, so it started after I moved to Toronto. I started working with the team here, and they had a connection with Lil Jon, and so I was in the studio writing, and they said, Lil Jon would be focused on this song. So I didn't actually meet him. He recorded, his part in, I believe, Atlanta. But yeah, no, it was great to have him on the record. Absolutely.
I mean, that's always great to have a featured so and so, and especially if it's a duet or any attention is good attention.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And spice it up with someone as talented as Lil Jon, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to get that crossover, too, because now they see Lil Jon on another track, and it's like, oh, who's this other female artist to check out? And now you've got all these new fans.
Exactly. It's the way to go. It's a lot of pop artists are doing it nowadays, and it's working. It's hugely successful.
It really made me laugh. I'm 48 years old. I just missed the Beatles, but hearing these 16-year-old kids into Kanye West talking about giving this old man a break. His name was Paul McCartney. He's like, he did props. He goes, this guy's going to blow up now. Having no clue who Paul McCartney was.
Yeah. Well, people just need to be educated nowadays.
It's unbelievable.
There's lots of musicians that they think, they're up and coming, or they're new, or there's whatever the case is, But it's just education. Educate yourself, yeah.
But once they do discover the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, they're all in. So I will give them that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And as far as your success, once that starts to snowball, it starts to go down the hill. That's it. Look out below. Be careful what you ask for, because once you get it, it's there. It's real.
Oh, absolutely. And something I've been working towards for a long time. And I'm not I'm not in it just, for fame or anything like that. Like I genuinely, like, every song I put out has a deep meaning and has, it comes from the heart, from life experience, that kind of thing. And I hope even the slightest bit that any song that I write that my fans listen to, that it touches them in some way, it helps them.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'd love to spin the new single. It's already getting airplay here on New Visions Radio, but I figure, hey, one more is not going to hurt.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is Kristen Karma with a brand new hit, Party Heroes, on your number one show for new music, The Ray Powers Hour. You've got it locked into the number one show for new music all over the world, The Ray Powers Hour. That was Kristen Karma with Party Heroes, her brand new single, out everywhere. Go pick that up. Now, this is far from your debut record, I know this. I know you had previously released an album. And in 2016, you released a single with a video called Believe. And I know this was special for a very specific reason. Can you share this very touching and amazing story with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I originally wrote Believe for my mother, who was she was battling cancer. And I actually wrote this song, didn't tell her about it, and put it on an iPod and wrapped it up for her birthday. And so she opened it up and listened to it, and it just had touched her so much. And she's, crying and everything. You couldn't believe it. And it was, I reached out to the Canadian Cancer Society, and they shared it around, and I did an acoustic version and did a video for that. And it's helped a lot of people believe that they can get through anything, whether it's cancer or depression or an eating disorder or just life in general. It's helped a lot of people, and the feedback from it and the comments have been out of this world. It's been amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of hits on that video. I watched it twice, and once wasn't enough. I really, really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Yeah. It's quite amazing. There's, like I said, there's two versions of it. There's like an upbeat dance version of it, and then there's the acoustic one with the very powerful video behind it.
Well, I say we play the acoustic one on the way out of here, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing that story with us. I know it had to be a very emotional time, and I mean, God bless. I hope everything is okay now as she goes through it again. Thoughts and prayers and in our hearts every single day. I do a lot of work with the American Cancer Society here in the States. We've raised a lot of money since 2012, so, it's very close to home for us as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Believe features Kaz, right? K-A-Z-Z.
Yeah. He was a newer artist coming out of Toronto, and we decided, the team I was working with decided that, since he's a new artist, it would be ideal to put him on my track. And it turned out really well. He complemented the track really well.
Absolutely. So before I let you go, Kristen, I'll put you on the spot. What's a better day for you? A day in the studio or a day on stage? Or I should say an evening on stage?
100% an evening on stage. I love watching my fans dance and interact and sing my lyrics back and just have a ball. I love having, getting off the stage and dancing with them while I'm singing my tunes and just making sure everybody has a fantastic time.
There really is nothing like the energy of a live crowd, is there?
No, there's nothing like it. It's amazing.
I love it. Kristen, I want to thank you so much. Please tell everybody where you want them to go for this record. Give them your website, give them the Bandcamp, give them the Amazon, wherever you want us to go. We want to get this record before the show is over. Impulse buys are through the roof, and I'd like to have everybody out to go check out this record.
You can go to iTunes or Amazon or any Spotify, any kind of streaming media. You can check out my website, KristenKarma.com, my Instagram at KristenKarma, Twitter, I'm on Facebook. Just reach out to me if you like the single, and I'd love to hear from you.
There it is. Go get Party Heroes by Kristen Karma. It's out right now. You got all the sites. I know you have 2, 3, 4 of them. You're on those apps all day, so give it a click. Give it a like. Go check out the video. Check out the Facebook. You guys know what to do. Kristen, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. You have a great night.
All right, you too.
The Ray Powers Hour.